Hi everyone, it's Becky here. So welcome to another new video on my YouTube channel, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to keep creating in our art journals even though we're resting at home. Okay, so first of all I'm going to give you a sneak peek of my current sketchbook. So I've been working on it for about 2 months now. It's almost filled up and sketching almost every day, mostly urban sketches because I'm enjoying my life back in Montreal so much, so I'm exploring around the city a lot. And so a lot of urban sketches and also at-home sketches once in a while. Teaching my online classes, so some of the sketches were actually done for my online sketchbook class. So if you're interested in learning more details about my techniques, you can sign up for my classes in November. So I'm going to update my class links very soon. And so first of all, I'm going to sketch the view outside my bedroom window. Yeah, so for the next 1 minute, it won't be really a tutorial because I didn't do a really good job filming with my DSLR camera. And so my hand was always covering the part that I was drawing and painting. Yeah, but anyway, I'm going to talk about why I love sketching the views outside my window. So right now the leaves are changing color, as you can see. This looks very different from the time when I moved in June. A lot of leaves now, the foliages are turning into a golden or an orangey green color, which is very charming. So sketching the views outside my windows in a very consistent way is a nice way to record the change of seasons and the passing of time in my life. So years later, when I look back at this sketch, it will be more than just this imagery of the view outside my window. It will be also sensations of this period of my life. Yeah, so this part of the video is going to be more like a tutorial for you. So I love sketching the ordinary things in my life. So I'm just going to sketch the bundle of bananas and a jar of pasta sauce I just got from grocery shopping. So when I'm sketching every day in my art journals, I'd like to draw directly with an ink pen without any pencil sketches ahead or any pre-planning. So just really dig into the process of drawing without overthinking. So now I just drew the banana in the middle and the banana on the right hand side. So there's a little bit of overlapping. So trying my best. The shape is not exactly the same, but yeah, that's a bundle of bananas. And now I'm just kind of adding a bit of solid black shapes for the two ends of the bananas, and using very gentle lines to show the three-dimension surface of the bananas. They're not flat shapes. They're kind of like a curved prism shapes. So after drawing the banana, I'm going to draw the jar of pasta sauce, starting with the top, which is an ellipse shape, and the thickness and all of the marks around the ring area of the lid, drawing the left side of the jar and then the right side. The bottom is being covered by the bananas, and drawing the label. The label has these lines following the surface curve of the cylinder-shaped surface. And now this is the fun part, drawing the name of the brand, letters, and the little square images of tomatoes and veggies, adding some little details inside the shape of the lids, and adding some accentuation in between the bananas. It makes the drawing look more strong with some accentuations. And now I'm just writing down the letters for today's day and date. Yeah, because this is an art journal, keeping track of the day and dates is very important. Also, I like to write down the time that I did the sketch. Okay, so after enjoying the drawing process, now I'm ready to paint watercolors on top. So right now I'm using the Etchr brand watercolors. I'm using my Holbein brand water brush to do the first layer, just wetted the surface of the banana with clear water and just adding this mix of lemon yellow with cadmium yellow. Just the first layer. Yeah, my brush stroke is following the surface curve of the bananas. The first layer is like pretty straightforward. The color seems flat, but not really. Every single brush stroke is slightly different, containing more or less lemon yellow or cadmium yellow, blending on a little bit of leftover lime green for the top part of the banana and also for the bottom ends of the bananas. Yeah, let it dry. While waiting for the banana part to dry, I'm painting the first layer for the pasta jar. For the lid, I used yellow ochre. First layer for the south part is a mix of red and a little bit of brown or burnt sienna. Painting very loosely and not really spending time stirring the paint around. Just lay it very quickly and let go. And also left little highlight areas. Adding a little bit dark brown or raw umber for the lid areas. Okay, now I'm adding the second layer for the pasta sauce. As you can see, I just mixed in a little bit of a leftover blue into the red-orange color and also containing less water for the second layer this time. This is wet into wet, so this second layer could merge very softly with the first layer, which is a little watery and much more translucent. Also leaving certain areas from the first layer unpainted. It gives a lot more sense of 3-dimension. So in achieving a sense of realism with watercolors, it's very important to do the layering and being aware of the amount of water and paint ratios. Okay, so that's it for now for the pasta sauce. Now I'm adding a little more definition for the bananas. A bit of orange and yellow and tiny bit of yellow ochre, playing with the blend of yellows. Again, this second layer for the banana contains less water. It's more of a yellow ochre tone. Just painting the areas according to my observation. This is a more solid color compared to the first layer. And also I'm leaving like tiny gaps from the first layer unpainted. Yeah, and now I'm just kind of mixing in a little bit of a dirty yellow, because bananas, they never have a perfectly yellowish color. There's always a bit of a bluish or greenish tone on the surface, especially in the shaded areas. So now I'm just applying another layer of leftover green for the stem area and also for these ridges that divides one single banana into about 3 different sizes. Yeah, so but each single banana is in between the shape of a prism and a cylinder. Yeah, and also adding a little bit brownish shadows in between the bananas. Yeah, so I'm also saving time by using the same kind of brown to add the shade color for the side of the lid here. Yeah, using a more vibrant red to paint this label for the classical pasta. I think this brand of pasta is very commonly seen everywhere in the world. And just adding this dark brown in certain areas of the pasta sauce as well to give even more contrast and definition, a sense of depth. Yeah, these are not just like red colors inside an outline. The sauce, it contains a lot of depth if you look very deeply to see the layers of colors. Yeah, and just add another layer of definitions for the pasta sauce. Even darker browns. So we can mix a little bit of ultramarine blue into red brown to make the brown even more intense. Okay, and slight bit of gray around the lid area using a smaller water brush for precision. Yeah, even more contrast with more blue mixed into the red-brown. So as we move on to the next and next layers, we need to be more brave at adding the contrast colors. Just wetting the shadow area of the banana with clear water, ready to paint the shadows. Just a tiny bit for the pasta sauce. And I mix my own gray with blue, green, and magenta. It's a nice trio of colors. Yeah, just also mixing a lot of water so the shadow color is not way too intense. Mixing this bit of gray around this side of banana too. Again, it's three-dimensional, kind of like a round prism. So there should be one side in slight grayish shade. That's it. Here's my finished sketch. Moving on, I'm gonna sketch my new box of a mixed black tea. The box is actually a very interesting shape. The lid area, the left side is a triangle. The front side is a very long rectangle. Those things might look so boring when you just look at it, but when you're drawing, you're truly seeing and sensing the shapes in front of you, so it looks much more interesting than just seeing the thing with your eyes only and not drawing. Yeah, so that's the outline of the box. It's a prism shape. And now I want to add this little pouch of tea. So when you're sketching in your art journal, you don't have to include every single part of an object. So part of it could be cut out, so it looks more dramatic. And then I want to draw the little tea bag that I just used. And the little yarn looping around. Very interesting. Nothing is too boring to be sketched. Yeah, so that's a nice combination of, three things about tea. The biggest tea package, a tea pouch, and a soaked tea bag. Yeah, now I'm just adding the package details. Twinning, yeah, in an oval, and the letters inside. Yeah, this brand is actually very nice. I like their black teas. Adding these letters, the words very quickly. Some little lines inside. So now we can actually see the tip of each individual packages or pouches right there. Very nice three-dimension elements. Yeah, and these letters are going sideways because we're seeing the side from an angle. Yeah, just adding these details very bravely. We don't have to be exactly the same when you're sketching a food package or pretty much anything in the world. You want to just capture the essential imagery and not the exact physical placement. Okay, so when you're drawing with the proportion or size or placement is a little bit off, don't stress out. Your drawing is still gonna make sense. And just adding these wrinkles on the top of the tea package. And the logo, again, letters inside. Yeah, for any tiny letters or words, you can just use very quick squiggles to get it done. And the Lady Grey tea, that's the identity of this little tea pouch. And adding some side wrinkles, the pressed wrinkles, pretty interesting lines. Yeah, some final little letters. A little accentuation around the side to show a little bit of sense of depth. Wrinkles, they all have a sense of depth. And even this tiny tea bag, it has a bit of three dimension. It's a squished prism. As you can see, I just drew a line to show the bottom of the tea bag. It's a flattened prism. And adding these wrinkles and organic lines that I see, the tea leaves inside the bag. Yeah, that's it. So now I'm ready to paint watercolors. I'm going to start with the tea package first, the box. Just wetted the areas first with clear water. So it really depends on what kind of watercolor paper that you're using. You might not need to wet the surface with a lot of water depending on the type of watercolor paper you're using. Yeah, just starting with the warm colors. It's a mix of orange and a bit of yellow ochre for the tea bag and some of the tea pouches inside the box. And then painting very loosely the mix of cerulean blue and a little bit cobalt blue. So when you're painting the surface, it doesn't have to be like so flat. It could contain a little bit of translucency or gradients on the surface. Because the lighting, the daylight is acting on everything, so no surface is completely a solid color. There should always be a little bit of gradients, even on a flat surface. Yeah, so for the blue tea pouch, as you can see, I left a lot of areas white of the paper because it shines there. Yeah, now I'm just adding some more the little vibrant red for the little tea pouch image on the package. And some more brown colors for the pouches showing their tips in the box. Yeah, just adding another layer of more intense blue, containing slightly bit of less water. Just grabbing that. Yeah, even though the surfaces of the tea package and the pouch is seemingly flat, as if you look very carefully, there's slight bit of gradients. So now this layer I'm adding now is the same color mixture, a little bit cerulean blue mixed with cobalt blue, but this time containing less water and more paint pigment. Yeah, just a little bit. Blending down with the first layer, so there's a bit of nice gradients. It's not, just flat. And our brush strokes and the layerings of colors is just adding more life to this static object. This actually has a life now, under our brush strokes. Adding a little more rendering. Yeah, the yellow golden border around the brand. And again, this blue contains less water. Using my smaller brush to kind of skip around the wrinkles there. Yeah, so there's this tea pouch is actually three-dimensional because there's a tea bag inside, giving it a relief. So the left side and right side, it shines a little bit because of the elevation. So that's why I left it white of the paper and also a lighter tone of blue right there. There's a bit of relief. Yeah. That's it for this layer. So yeah, just adding this bit of yellow that I forgot to put in. And for the tea bag, as you can see, the first layer is actually the color of the tea stain. And now I'm adding this brown or burnt sienna. It's actually more of the color of the loose leaves inside. Every single brush stroke is slightly different depending on more or less water on the brush tip. The top part of the tea bag is a brighter tone because it contains less tea leaves there. The bottom, the mid to bottom, is the denser brown. Again, we can turn the brown darker by mixing in even more ultramarine blue into the burnt sienna. And use little quick dashes or brush strokes to show the texture of loose leaf tea. And adding some bit of colors for the little label there and then for the yarn as well. I think that's pretty much it for the colors of everything. Now I'm ready to paint the shadows. Just wetting those 3 shadow areas with clear water. And again, using my trio color recipe, blue, green, and magenta. That's my own gray, yeah, on the very bottom of the box and around the tea pouch and the tea bag, very lightly for the first layer. But wetting the area first with clear water, it really helps to make the shadow not too dense. It should be a very soft shadow during regular daylight. That's it, keeping it very simple. Here's a look of my finished sketchbook page. It took me 1 hour to finish sketching everything here on this page. Thank you so much for watching this video, everyone. If you like it, please click like and leave me a comment below. Subscribe to my channel for weekly updates, and I will see you again very soon next time. Have a great day, everyone.